Hello, welcome back, friends, family, and cousins. Listen, I'm back again with another episode of the AJ Red Show, and tonight we're going to discuss these ladies over here with Married to Medicine and see what the hell they've been up to. Y'all ready to discuss it? All right.
It's the AJ Red Show, starring me, AJ Red. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Now let's get into it.
What's going on? Welcome back to the AJ Red Show. It's me, your boy AJ Red. I want to welcome you all back, friends, family, and definitely cousins. Thank you again for joining me on tonight's show. Before I get started, I want to go ahead and thank all the new subscribers who have joined the channel and welcome you guys. And if you are new to the channel, this is your first video, please take the time now to hit that notification bell so that you'll be one of the first ones to get the videos when I upload them. Also, hit that thumbs up button. That gives the like button. That helps a brother out a lot. For my old subscribers, I keep saying old, but I mean, hey, old is good. I love you guys dearly. I really appreciate you guys. You guys have been rocking with me since day one, so I really appreciate the love that you guys show. I will say again, looking at all of my numbers and shit and my comments and everything, I ask so much of you guys, but you guys deliver again so much more abundantly than I could ever ask. So again, for that, I love you and thank you very much for that. So, with all the pleasantries and shit out the way, now let's get right into the show and discuss Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 13. All right, look. So it starts off, I don't know what the fuck's going on in my throat. This fucking weather is changing. Allergies and shit, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but y'all just bear with me. I'm gonna get through this motherfucking shit, make it as best I can, okay? But anyway, starting off the episode, it's Quad and Anila. They have decided to team up and meet up at Anila's humble abode, her good mansion. And so when Quad arrives, the girls get together, they get their little wines and stuff together and whatnot and so forth, and their little, you know, appetizers and shit like that, skinny girl shit. So with that being said, they have the discussion again, of course, about the home of Anila being broken into. Now, look, I can honestly tell you, just watching the episode, I can honestly think that being in their home, all that fucking ringing and dinging all goddamn day long, with all them fucking cameras hidden everywhere. And again, I still have not seen a keypad that says ADT. Y'all need to call over and get y'all an alarm system. I'm not saying that Ring is not good, but I'm just saying with all the money y'all have up in there, all the shit that's been stolen from y'all's house, I would think y'all would get a reputable, real reputable, that calls the 911, the police, the ambulance, and all that shit over to the house, you know, Johnny on the spot when some shit goes down. I don't know how they got their Ring set up. There's multiple ways of doing it. Camera, you know, there is a line to call, 911, but I don't know what the fuck they got because, again, no keypad. But they're having a discussion about the robbery and all this different stuff, which, of course, breaks Quad into being messy as fucking being a bone carrier and saying how she had spoken with the ladies previously at Jackie's house. And they had this round table discussion. And, you know, Anila came up, you know, asking why wasn't she at Jackie's house? How was she doing after the robbery and all this different stuff? And a lot of the ladies kind of alluded to, I'm not going to say they mostly said it was a setup. They had questions. And rightfully so, we all have questions, just like she have questions if she was not in on the shit. And any of the other ladies, like Toya, that wasn't even mentioned, well, she was mentioned more so as a fucking culprit as anything. But Quad made a statement and said that the ladies, when it was brought up, that the ladies kind of joked it off as to, you know, did she stage it? Did they set it up? You know, who would do this? Contessa said, you know, who in the fuck would target Anila? And Quad or somebody said somebody about they put a hit out on her or some shit like that. And everybody was like, bitch, a hit means when somebody put a hit out on you, that means, bitch, you about to be wiped out of the yellow pages. Basically, you know, yellow pages ain't been around in a long time, but y'all get the gist of the motherfucking story, right? Basically, ain't nobody gonna text you no more unless they go into the heavenly line. That's being rubbed out. So it's more so like, okay, the term of being targeted, which Contessa's came up with, made more motherfucking sense. And so everybody still, again, had questions. And Toya made this comment like, you know, could it be that she's a liar? And I think Toya's statement was geared more towards also with the other ladies possibly saying, did she stage it, you know, or is the bitch trying to blame the shit on me? And of course they had to heat it up, hype it up, and all this different shit as to where the arrows pointed at Toya. But I'm pretty sure if Toya was maybe had been not convicted of, but even thought of as doing a criminal act against one of the other ladies on the cast, I'm pretty sure this shit would have been investigated and Toya would no longer be a part of the cast. But I don't know. But the bottom line is she's saying basically maybe she's a fucking liar. Maybe she paid somebody to break in. Maybe this, maybe that. They had this conversation and Quad goes in and say, well, Simone was laughing, da-da-da-da-da. So Anila took offense to that shit immediately and said, well, you know, fuck them for thinking I set it up. Fuck them for thinking it was funny. All this extra shit just kind of going in, you know, building a storyline, that kind of shit, fluffing it up. With all that being said, somewhere it cut to the thing in the middle and it got to Jackie and Cecil and Simone and Curtis were all together at Jackie's house and they were having a conversation. And they were basically like saying like, shit, it's different when, and we've had before when people have had fights or, you know, arguments pitted against each other. But now it's different because everybody's fighting against each other. And when I looked at this shit, I'm like, she ain't never lied. Everybody, you know, some against Toya, Toya against Quad, Quad against Anila. Toya against Anila, Contessa and Toya like they may be making up. Heavenly and Toya off and on fighting. You know, it's just some weird, crazy-ass energy, all kinds of fucked up ways going on the goddamn scene. And Jackie is saying, basically, we have to find a way to come together, settle our differences, and come together as a sisterhood and figure this shit out and move on with our lives in a better fashion. Which would be kind of boring, of course, from the going forward with the episodes. But I understand where she's coming from. It seems to be getting a little out of hand, a little personal. Because as y'all know, Toya came out and big faced the fuck out of Audra. And I don't know if she's looking for revenge at Blueridge or what. But anyway, they came up with this magnificent idea because even Curtis said everybody was swinging the fuck on each other and some shit had to go down, some had to change. So what they came up with was a new idea for an old trip, basically. Back down to Blueridge, Georgia, to have a good old time out there in the woods and shit and hang out, you know, amongst the trees, you know, serenity in nature. Maybe recharge themselves, embody something better than what the bullshit they've been putting out here lately. And so they felt like it was a good idea to redo the Blueridge trip. So they're planning that. We're going to get to that shit in a moment. But back to Anila and Kieran. Now look, ever since Miss Gomez got ghost and decided she had to pack her shit and put her bandana on the stick and mosey on down the road back over yonder ways here to Houston, you know, Anila and Kieran has been having so many fucking blues, dealing with her mama, all the other shit, but mostly with her mama. She couldn't get her old injections in her cooter. She won't clean up behind the kids. She goes in Anila's closet fucking with her things. She just doing all kind of shit, just being rambunctious all over the fucking board. And so she really tested their faith and their patience. And so finally they got the idea to send her ass back to where the fuck she came from, her and her daddy, Anila's father. And they decided to hatch a plan. Listen, I don't know what the fuck they offered Miss Gomez, but they saying, oh, she went down to Houston and she took care of her business and all of her things and she's back now. No, y'all went and offered that lady some more money, probably her own fucking bedroom because they wasn't giving her a bedroom to sleep in. Where the fuck was Miss Gomez sleeping? In the basement, on the sofa, in the room with the children? What was the tea? I'm looking to find out. But they offered her something apparently that she wasn't getting before. And it geared her to decide to up and pack up her shit and get her bandana on the stick once again and ease on down the road back down there to the old Peach State. And so she made it back down there, popped up in the door, whatever they offered her, a Tesla, you know, to buy her new Suburban, you know, a little Gucci outfit, a little Fendi to take her to Cancun on vacation. I don't know what the fuck they offered her, but some kind of way they done hoodooed this woman back down into Georgia and got her back down up in their front door. And so as soon as Miss Gomez gets up in the motherfucking house, look, the kids go crazy. They go crazy. They got signs and shit, you know, made for the lady, which they could have had a better, you know, homecoming for the woman. But, you know, what a little dinner cook. Even if they didn't cook this shit, could have ordered out to one of her favorite restaurants or something like that. You know, sat down and had some dinner, let them get reacquainted, catch up on old times, you know, a little time that has passed. They ain't do none of that shit. Miss Gomez came back in. The kids got to jumping around and shit, slanging peanut butter and carrying on the walls and shit. And they ain't really do all that, but that was just in my mind because it was so fucking rambunctious. But soon as Miss Gomez got through the door, they put her ass back to work. She was right back with the children, right back into the same old heart of bullshit, dealing with them badass kids, fucking around again, running around there, cleaning up behind them, picking up behind their shit, probably grabbing on her legs and shit, dragging that old lady down to the floor. That lady is not no motherfucking swingatorium. You can't be doing all that bullshit on that old lady. And that little girl needed to go on a little diet. She needed a little salad, soup salad, and some water. She getting a little too thick for her age. I know damn well she can't be no more than about 9 or 10, and she looked about 15. Back her up off them carbs. Take her running, jogging or something, put her in some gymnastics. Contessa has finally made it to this point where she has already built herself up for all this training she's done, all this half feeding herself, you know, half a fucking apple and shit like that. You know, really damn near starving herself to get the body that she so desired to go into this bodybuilding competition. Now, let me be the first to say, now, in this particular episode at the time, Contessa is 45, right? Beautiful woman. Good looking kids. She's a mother of, I think, 3 kids. She's married to Scott, you know, I want to say a decent man. We're going to have to figure that part out later on because we're not really harping on their storyline too much this season. So apparently they're in a good place. But let me tell y'all something. When that motherfucker stepped on that stage with that 2-piece on, I don't even cut for women like that. But I'm sitting there saying to myself, well, goddamn. For 45, bitch, all that eating one half an apple a day, it paid off. Because at the end of the day, she stepped out with so much pride and so much confidence. She knew that she had did all the work that she needed to do to step into this competition and make herself successful coming out. And I'll be goddamned if it didn't work. Because, listen, they was backstage talking about how she beat out 18-year-olds and girls younger than her at 45 years old, having children and coming back and popping that body back into place. She has really been a woman of setting goals. I feel like she's kind of patterning after Jackie. She's a woman that sets goals. She put it in her mind. She walks the motherfucking path. And she sets it in her mind that if she has to walk the path alone, she's going to do it anyway because it's a passion and a dream of hers. Now, she claims she don't want to walk the path alone. She wants Scott and them babies right beside her. But in the end, this is something I felt like she had to do for herself to claim her own independence. And that's what it mostly sounded like, to get her independence back and herself, not her self-worth, but to prove to herself that even being married with children and still having this phenomenal fucking career, I still got a banging ass body, and it's something I want to present to the world in this competition one more again to let these girls see I still got it. And I'll be goddamn, she beat them all out and came in first place. So bravo, hats off to Contessa. I'm so proud of you for all the work that you put in and you made it happen, sis. Even Scott was sitting there, his mind, he needed a fucking beer or a couple of paper towels or something because he was sitting there drooling in the stands, you know, as she stepped out. He was looking a little, you know, giddyish when the other ladies came out, which is kind of common of men when they see other ladies with shit half naked, basically. But when she stepped on the stage, it seemed like there was a certain glow, something different, coming from Scott when she stepped out on the stage. And she had already said Scott had never seen her in a 2-piece. I'm like, how the fuck y'all been married all this time? And I know y'all take, you know, beach vacations, and this man ain't never seen you in a 2-piece, not even a Victoria's Secret. I don't know. I'm just saying. But he was feeling mighty victorious. He looked like he had won the fucking competition. He got in the back, looked at her. He like he wanted to lick all that spray tan off her motherfucking body for the one time. He wanted to put a little jelly on there, or some of that, not spread. What that stuff is, a little apple butter jelly or some shit like that. A little whipped cream. Put it on there and lick it off. And when he hugged this shit, I think he might have busted a couple in his pants. He probably had to go home and change his drawers. But again, congrats, Contessa, because you worked hard for it and you achieved it as you always do. So I'm here for you and congrats. The Blueridge trip do-over, or the Blueridge do-over trip. Simone and Jackie basically said that they wanted this trip to be, again, a serenity space, a serene space for all of the ladies and the couples to come, not like a marriage boot camp, but to kind of heal friendships, relationships, marriages, and all that stuff. Just kind of just sitting around, you know, kumbayaing and some shit like that, drinking some hiawatha juice, you know, smoking a couple of doobies, drinking a little Chardonnay, and all that kind of shit, and basically drawing in good energy and casting out all this negative bullshit we got going on amongst the group. And somewhere along the way, they thought to themselves, they were saying that they hoped Contessa and Scott wouldn't be too loud, you know, hucking, bucking, and fucking up in the next room. And they was trying to see who they was going to be next door to. But that was the gag for them. They were so happy about that, thinking, well, I mean, not happy about it. It was so tickling to them to think about after Scott had seen her. And I don't know if they were there because I didn't see any of the ladies show up for Contessa, but maybe they thought about how, you know, she won the competition. Or maybe they had heard some rumors or heard Scott say some shit. I don't know, but they had already known that Scott planned on putting Contessa on the cracker with some cheese and eating her the fuck up. Audra and Martin, when they finally show up, I don't know why the fuck they showed up. It was, listen, it was funny to me. They showed up and I didn't catch it until somebody else said something on the show. They was like, well, damn, look at Audra and Dr. Martin. They showing up in a whole champion sweatsuit. And y'all know Tar done dragged their ass through the filth, mud, and the rain behind them champion outfits. Now, I will say again, if you are out and about and you are on a television show, there is nothing wrong with Champion. Champion has been around for a long time. It is a decent brand. But if you're hanging with the caliber of like these ladies and you're in Vegas on television, don't bust out there in no Champion. Come out there in your Chanel, sis. Now, for the Blueridge trip, showing up for your travel and all that stuff, showing up to show the ladies, you here for the thing and whatnot, and you ain't go on your honeymoon, you got married, and 3 days later, like Jesus Rose, you know, you came on down to the situation and hung out with the rest of the ladies, not to be too snobbish and to be on camera and to secure your spot next season with that peach, because I believe Audra's going to be on here. They showed up with them goddamn Champion outfits on, and all the heads turned. And when they decided to walk in and speak, Talia and Eugene just felt the ways. They didn't want to say shit to Audra and Dr. Martin. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of tension in the air, so I'm so glad that Simone and Jackie are planning to have this kumbaya, this powwow moment with everybody. Excuse me. It's too many shots. They had Eugene in the goddamn kitchen like more than a sous chef. Eugene, call me. We need to get you a restaurant open or something. A food truck now in Atlanta, and open one of those up, because all that stuff Eugene over there cooking seems to be looking mighty motherfucking good. And when the place went out, everybody was licking their fingers and sucking their forks and shit, scraping up the little leftovers on their plate. The lasagna looked real good, but let me tell you, Eugene was in that kitchen cooking like a motherfucker. That's probably why Talia picked him. She was too busy looking at the kitchen skills and at the bedroom skills, I suppose. And this is just coming off the back of what she's been saying all this season long about the man had a little dick. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just repeating what his wife said. But anyway, I guess they usually say what the man can't make up with the hips, he got to make up with the lips. But seemed like Eugene extended that shit a little bit further to the kitchen. On the burner, in the oven, you know, in the sink, in the air fryer. Eugene said he over there cooking, whipping, and chopping. He don't give a fuck. But it seems like it's working. He over there been doing it for a while. He cooked for little Ash's birthday party for the most part. And I think he's mostly the chef in the house, it seems to me. Let's see. Anila and Kieran seem to be, they're gonna be the ones next door to Martin and Audra. Everybody was worried about Contessa and Dr. Scott being up in there hooking and bucking and fucking and knocking the walls down and the pictures and shit, and maybe coming through the room, through the wall to the next room. But it looks to me, I'm saying, like, I understand Contessa and Scott's, you know, newfound situation, but I know that Martin and Audra are newlyweds, and they were 3 days into this thing, and from what they say, they both been abstinent for a whole month to make sure when they came back and fucked the walls of Jericho down, they made sure they were going to be able to produce and procreate and make another child, which we're happy to announce Audra and Dr. Martin already has a baby, as we already see on Instagram now. They have shown her pregnant. She's big as a house and probably due any damn day now if she hadn't already had the baby. But they took their time to save up all their secretions and all their energy and all their testosterone and shit, and save it up for a good month for the wedding night to make sure to knock each other's motherfucking wigs back and break each other's hips and all that good shit, you know, to make another baby. Although Audra does have a child, a 9-year-old, from a previous marriage. He's probably 10 now, that, you know, Dr. Martin is taking as his own Ralph take a page out of his book. But he's taken on as his own. He loves him just the same, but he also wanted a child of his own. And they both wanted that together. And, you know, thanks to the powers that be, they have it. You know, they have a little one on the way, and they're ready to get this thing started. Anila's kids, well, I'm going to say Anila. Anila come with the bullshit and started pitching this idea about, you know, she's coming in, she's being very dramatic. They finally showed up to the thing. They was the last ones to get there. And now that they're sitting out, and this is what I see on the way out. I didn't, you know, touch too much on the whole episode. It wasn't that long, but not very much went on during the episode that I did not tell you all about. If you think you missed something from me, fuck it. Go and take your ass back down there and watch the episode and see what's going on. But you make sure to drop down these comments and tell me what you thought about this goddamn video here. All right? But Anila is steady pushing this whole idea of the kids being so scarred behind the house being robbed. Somebody must have took their Mickey Mouse shit or they Winnie the Pooh shit. I don't know. But seems to me the only ones that had suffered from it, honestly, was Kieran and Anila. And that was financially and somewhat emotionally. But these kids, stop putting that shit on them children, because them kids don't know what the fuck a robbery probably is until y'all sat down and told them about it. And first of all, why the fuck are they traumatized behind the goddamn robbery? Y'all wasn't at home when the folks came in. Like Marlo and her nephews, y'all wasn't at the house when the folks came up in the house. Y'all was somewhere else. So how are these children traumatized and having all these badass motherfucking nightmares all of a sudden? Y'all come up with some of the dumbest shit to be sitting up here saying down to the TV stations and whatnot over there on Bravo. That don't even align with a decent storyline. It just sounds stupid as shit. Just go ahead and take your L's on this one. Claim that, you can say that maybe Toya did it. Just claim what the fuck you want. Maybe it was an inside job. I feel like it was an inside job because a motherfucker knows your house like that. They know exactly where to go, you know, to get your shit. They know you didn't lock it up. You know, it's just too many details that have been unspoken behind this incident, other than Toya. You know what happened over the other night? Fuck all that. Yeah, the bitch was mad. But I refuse to believe at this point now, seeing Toya, that she went and did some shit, like sent somebody over there to your house to bust up in there, because God knows how they got in, unless you really think you one of the Brady bunches or some shit like that, and y'all live in a gated community, you can just leave your doors unlocked. Those days been gone. I don't give a fuck what community you live in. Retirement community, elderly community, gated community, gay community, heterosexual community, whatever community you live in, bitch, it ain't safe to leave no door unlocked if that's what you're doing. But how the hell they just get up in your house? That's what I don't understand. Motherfuckers just can't be running around with no goddamn, with the crowbar nowadays, just prying doors open, going up in there and take that time to eat sandwiches and drink your motherfucking soda pop, and then go up there and rummage your closet and get up out of there before you make it home? Come on now. I smell a rat. A big-ass, fat, filthy, stinking-ass rat. I don't know what side of the fence it's on, but I smell a rat. And I feel like either it's just something that happened, you know, out of nowhere, or Anila set the shit up. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. As far as Toya, and me and Toya don't even get along like that. But I'm saying I just don't see Toya doing something like that. And for Anila to now going into the next episode, I'm going on to the next episode because, as y'all know, the shit was to be continued. But Anila had the nerve to address the table at dinner, stating that, or questioning, did any of you all say that it was staged or that I, you know, basically paid somebody to come in and rob my house? So now you want to come in and create this false narrative and get everybody else riled up and blame everybody else and point the finger at everybody else except you for whatever the fucking reason is, even if it boils down to you not protecting your house properly and having all that shit laid out like you Donna Karen. You ain't Patti LaBelle. You ain't Big Retha. You ain't Beyonce. You better lock your shit up. That's what you better do. But anyway, that's pretty much the end of this episode. It was, this was just tiresome on this one. We're going to see if the next one going to bring something, because they brought Jesus down into the backyard. I seen the pastor over there somewhere praying amongst the folks and preaching a false word or something like that to the people, or them crazy ass gals. But we're going to get to that next episode. But in the end, let's wrap this shit on up real quick for the one time. So, if you are new to the channel, this is your first video, listen, go ahead and hit the notification bell now. Do it now. Just go ahead and take a moment of silence. and hit that notification bell. All right, and then also hit that thumbs up button, because that is the like button. That lets me know that you came through and liked the video, you watched it. And also what further solidifies it, if you go ahead and put a comment and comment to the video, right? And also for my old subscribers, I'm sorry. Again, thank you so much for sticking with me, hanging around. This shit, like I said, is going to get better. I know what y'all be liking and what y'all looking for. So I'm coming back with more of it to, you know, tickle y'all fancy. So I will be back again. I'm trying to not take breaks in between days, but sometimes I have to rest up a little bit, y'all. And my apologies. I'm trying to give y'all the best of me. I ain't trying to come half-assed and sleepy and all this other shit. I want to come energetic, putting out good energy, good vibes, right? So yes, make sure to share, like, and subscribe the video. All of the videos you like. Don't just let this be the only one you watch. Go back and watch them all. Trust me, it's worth your while. Share with somebody you know. Share with some bitch you don't know. Share with somebody you like. Share the motherfucker you don't care nothing about. Because like I always tell y'all, in the end, if you don't like them, they don't like you. I'm going to be the glue in the middle. You know, I ain't got to even fuck with... Y'all ain't got to know how I talk to them like that. Hang out over here and then hang out a little bit over there. But yeah, I got more commentary coming again. Y'all take care of yourself. Love on yourself real good. Make sure you have somebody that loves you in return in the same way. Because you can't take anything less than that, right? Don't be with the fuckery. But anyway, I'm out of here, y'all. To the next video. I'm about to go find me something to eat. All right, later.